Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your psychic oracle card reading for October through November. Give me just a second while I start my timer. Oh, guys, while I shuffle, wanted to go ahead and give you an update. I have a website now down in the description box below, and on it you can get personal tarot card readings, oracle card readings, dream interpretation, rune readings, astrology readings. You can get intuitive life coaching sessions with me down in the description box below. And you can also get emergency readings with me. Yeah, I have a whole emergency readings tab. Tarot and astrology only for right now, I believe. If I do have a rune blend, because I created all this stuff years ago, but I had to redo my website. So it should only be tarot and astrology, and runes is only on the shop all page. Also, just letting you guys know, I am doing a full moon in Taurus reading, and I do have a full moon Aries in reading up on my website for purchase. It's on sale for like 45% off. I also have tickets for my Halloween live that I am selling on my website as well. And if you cannot make it to the live, that is okay. I'm going to go ahead and post a recorded listing as well. So if you can't make it to the live, but you want the recording, make sure to purchase that down in the description box again below. I also have a free OnlyFans subscription. Now, the only reason I have an OnlyFans, and I don't do anything illicit on there, but I do give you guys updates in terms of like sales. You guys get the know-how. And also, when you do view my website, you can put in your email and you can get on my email list and get a newsletter from me, monthly newsletter. So I will say this, the OnlyFans subscribers, it's free to join, by the way. They get priority placement because they have already subscribed to my content to get to know me and my projects. The newsletter is going to be once a month, and you guys will still get precedent too, but in terms of content, that's going to be a little bit different. So check in here, one more good shuffle, and then I do also happen to have a Patreon page that I only do oracle card readings on. So make sure to join me on all those platforms down in the description box below. And like I said, we're going to have a ball with this website. I'm so thrilled. I'm so excited. I finally got it up and running. It took me all of Mercury retrograde to get it really done. And I was a little overwhelmed. That's why it took me so long, but I'm glad I took the time this time around. So show me, please, my beautiful Fae beings. What's coming through for Taurus? Okay, not for you, Taurus. And remember, we only take direct messages. Oh, yeah, and if you want to tip me or leave me a tip, you can do so at the emergency link down below on the shop all page on my website, or of course on the OnlyFans. I've actually had a couple of OnlyFans subscribers tip me for my work, which is really nice. Oh, Taurus, you got this card too. Okay. Here, hold on. Back this up. One more direct message for Taurus, please, for October to November 2022. Nope, not yet. Okay. Man, Taurus, the second message, it must be very important if Spirit is taking its time to give it. And that's the thing. I never rush messages, even though we're on a time crunch. I never rush them because truthfully, the way I work and the way my guides work is you never rush getting messages because then you might get the wrong message, you know? Okay, there we go. So here's the thing, Taurus. You know, Sagittarius got this card too, but they got it at the end of the month. You're kind of getting it at the beginning. And this says a blessing of being understood. So this card comes up when you are being misunderstood. Interesting that that's happening right before your full moon. I'm kind of genuinely surprised because your full moon, Taurus, is about grounding and stability. And yet I can get why you feel misunderstood at this time because the world is completely unstable. It has gone like one screw way too loose and the whole bike is going to fall apart. Truth be told, that's how it's looking every day now since the pandemic. And you're the one trying to bring calming and grounding and reason. And right now, everybody's in a type of panic mode. Well, think about it. We've all been in survival mode, Taurus. And for you, you're like, so just because it's survival mode doesn't mean you can't be stable. I agree with that. I am not disagreeing. But we are, those of us who don't have earth placements, uh, we're not conditioned to be like that, right? Most of us aren't. I actually do have earth sign placements in my chart. So I get it. I get you. But the rest of the world, not so much. It's been survival mode, game on since 2020, since March of 2020. And now everybody's finally just now starting to come out of that. And yet here we are infighting with each other over resources, causing wars, all kinds of trauma, drama, hurting one another, stealing, robbing, thieving, all kinds of crap, just crap. And I can get why it's like you keep trying to bring stability to your life and your world, and the world in of itself is bringing constant instability to you. And then it frustrates you because I think you're opening up to people who they see what you're doing, but they don't get it. They don't get why it's necessary at this time. And the truth is stability and grounding is necessary at any time. And I think we've all become accustomed, and I say we, not really me, but I think humanity has become accustomed to a lack of instability for the last 2 years, that now it's a type of new norm. And you're like, but this isn't normal. And I agree with you. It's not normal. It's like trying to reason with crazy. You can't reason with crazy. Okay. You have to treat that energy. Yes. But right now, it's not ready for treatment. It's not ready to even acknowledge that its own insanity. This is, you know what I mean? Like, it's not ready for that. That's something that right now at this time to you is like, this is bananas. I actually have a friend who says that. She's funny. Every time, like, instead of saying crazy, she says bananas. And I'm like, dude, you're so right though. This is bananas. But it's a time where I feel like even though it's funny, Sag is trying to give wisdom, and through that wisdom, they're being misunderstood. You, on the other hand, you're just trying to bring stability, I think, to even your own life, and not just the world. But because of that, things are causing you to destabilize because nothing is stable. It's almost like we're on a runaway train car and you're trying to put the brakes on to slow down a little bit. And everybody's like, why should we slow down? And you're like, oh, I don't know, because we don't have safety gear in case we crash. What will happen to us? It's like that TikTok, like when you run into something and then you get hit and then you crash and get hurt and it's like, oh my god, that was shocking and devastating. It's like that TikTok, because it's like we all know we're going to get hurt. At this point, we're just playing the game of luck of, oh, we're not going to get hurt today. Yeah, no, I don't understand that myself. I feel like those people are just playing it like by ear, and that's up to them. But when it affects you directly, Taurus, that's not fair. And you're like, I didn't sign up for this. I hear you, the Fae hear you. And they want you to know that right now, you are being understood by the Fae realm. And actually, you're being supported by them, which is awesome. And look, it's a dragon and a fairy and a butterfly right here, if you can see on the card. And dragons are actually extremely wise. I love working with them. I actually have a card reading about that on my website. If you want to take more of a look into that session, kind of highlights, you can do that. It's under the shop all tab. I do know that. But I love working with dragons. They are extremely wise, even for a Scorpio like myself. And this is the other thing, Taurus. A lot of people forget how Scorpio is. You don't, because you're very aware, you're acutely aware of what Scorpio is like because they are your sister sign in the house of partnership. You know that eventually this whole runaway train business, the train's going to stop without the brakes and it's going to come to a crashing halt. People are going to get hurt. Then you're going to be needed to help bring stability and grounding in an emergency type situation. In let's say crisis situation, because that would be like the worst case scenario, right? you know that. You know eventually this runaway train is going to come off the tracks. It's going to go somewhere it's not supposed to go. And the truth is you know that because that's what Scorpio does. Scorpio says, okay, this ending right here, yeah, this has to be done because this isn't helping anybody and we're getting nowhere. So instead, I'm going to bring a very painful ending, but we're all going to get a renewal and we get a restart. We kind of hit refresh from where we were. So I always tell people with Scorpio season, you know, think about that renewal that you want, let the things go that need to be ended. But for you, Taurus, I feel as though you're in a bit of a stagnant energy because you haven't been able to bring endings, but you also haven't been able to start new beginnings. And that is not necessarily your fault. I feel it is the sign of the times that we are just in right now, and the Fae are supporting you in your plans. So if you want to work with them more, definitely work with the goddess Freya. Let her know your intentions on your endings and new beginnings, and you know how the Fae can help you, and let her direct them. Tell her for your highest possible best plan for this and your highest possible good. And she will help you, and they will help you as best they can right now. Because remember, our world is tied to theirs. So it's important that we become stable in order for the natural world to also become stable again, too. Now, here's the funny part, Taurus. You also got the blessing of elf locks. This is a card about hairstyles, actually. It's one of those weird cards that is like, really, of all things, but you have to remember the Fae are workers, but this is also elven energy. So if you feel more, and it's funny because right before I was doing this reading, I was watching Return to the King, and it's right as Gundor, you know, they plotted and schemed to get Gundor's aid to them. And you know, they're Aragorn's about to go in that cave and have that battle with the ghosts. But, you know, I was thinking the elves didn't come in this one because it was up to men to defeat Sauron. Whereas in the second one, the Battle of Helm's Deep, the elves come to help at the Battle of Helm's Deep. So if you're really entrenched in elven energy, there are elven energies around you that are wanting to help and support you. Also, this card is one of those cards that the Fae like to get your attention when it comes to your hair. They will knot it up. I mean, to the point that it gets so bad. Sleep with your hair in braids is what I would advise at this time, because I've actually had it to where even with my short hair, like I have a long bob that needs to be cut. But even when it's cut, I still get like little rat's nests in my hair when I have pulled this card in the past. So try to keep your hair, detangle it, yeah, but keep it braided at night for right now. And also play with hairstyles because elves are all about aesthetic and power. And their aesthetic is more ethereal. And this might be kind of a little bit of a play on go on an ethereal look this month. I think it'll actually end up working out for you in terms of attraction. But here's the thing, elves don't necessarily do it for attraction energy. They just do it because they want to, and because elven energy is also wise as well, but it's directly from nature and it's a way of connecting to nature. So I can't see how it's like fishtail braids right there, but also how she has her hair kind of like up and then down. And it's kind of about connecting with the wildness outside of us a little bit and getting back to that. Um, but a blessing of elf locks. I mean, even I have short hair and I've still been able to braid it when I've had this card come up and work with that energy. Braiding in terms of the craft does have significant meanings. I would definitely, if you're wanting to work with hair magic, this is the card to do. Also, the Fae are all about glamour, magic, and appearance, which is why I'm thinking this card came up for you, Taurus. Even though I'm sure you're like, I don't need to do that. Yeah, I know you're ruled by Venus, the first, you know, beautiful love and romance goddess. You're always going to be beautiful, Taurus. It's not that. It's just, I think the universe is trying to get you to think outside your box in order to help you kind of feel a little bit more respected and accepted in your community right now, which sometimes when we change our aesthetic, that happens. I used to wear my hair up like all the time. I remember in middle school. And then one day I just wore my hair down and everybody was like, oh my God, you look so pretty with your hair down. And after that, I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I want. I want to wear my hair down every day. I don't want to wear it up. It gave me headaches. It was just giving me problems. And I want my hair to be long and flowing and in the wind kind of energy. That's what I want. I don't care, about having it up anymore. And when I started doing that, I started connecting to a side of myself that was more confident, that was more open to listening in terms of how I felt about how my looks, in terms of it kind of really did make a game changer for me on my whole style as well, in terms of aesthetic. Because then it wasn't like I was trying to hide myself anymore. I was just trying to more or less work with what natural beauty I already had. So if you're a male, I mean, obviously you're already pretty if the elf locks are coming up. So try some Viking looks if you're a male. There's, was it the Sivu Play YouTube channel? She does the Viking kind of hairstyles. If you have a long beard, try doing some of those bearded looks with the long beard looks, like braid it if you can. It'll be a new look. Maybe you need a new aesthetic, Taurus. But I think it's actually perfect to put this in place before your full moon, actually. So, other than that, Taurus, I got to go. I got to run. I got 7 other readings to do, but I love you guys so very much. Check me out on my website. I will talk to y'all later. And I am hoping you guys have an excellent full moon in your sign. Also, reach out to all your Scorpio friends and tell them happy birthday and be, y'all play fun and play nice and safe. And I'll see you soon. Bye, Taurus. Love you.